Most of us don't spend our time on the things that matter to us the most. If you're in that position, you need to be aware that you are not on your own. It means that your life is not your own completely. Those of us that have written down no usually feel pretty shitty about it. We feel sad, we feel guilty sometimes. Just to unpack that a little bit, this makes sense because of our desire to feel good. In other words, to gain approval of how our life is. And also our desire to feel right. And right is synonymous with being in control. So usually how this goes is that we don't feel good, and then the very next thing that we do is we try to justify why it's okay because, well, that's not really how the world works, or I have these other things that I have to take care of first. And if that's you, I want you to take a break for just a second. Try to not justify yourself. I'll say this, the way that your life is going is not bad or wrong. And I'm quite sure that if I was watching your life on a movie screen, everything that you are doing would make complete sense to me. So you probably have good reason for why your life is the way that it is what I'm trying to say. I have a question for you, and it's a classic question. If you had 6 months to live, how long would it take you to start to rebalance the way that you spend your time and energy so that you could focus on what's important to you? I love to ask that question, and almost every time that I ask it, the answer for most of us is, oh, it would be no time at all. And if that's you, well, then you fell into my trap for my second question, because how do you know you haven't got only 6 months to live? How do you know you even have 6 months to live? Guess what? You don't, sucker. So you better get to work. Now, to take control of our life, I think we need to be aware of our own mortality. Don't obsess about it. I spent a while doing that, and the juice isn't quite worth the squeeze. But you do need to be, once again, okay risking the disapproval of others. The stress of your life not being your own, like I said at the beginning of this video, is like you're in prison, albeit a mental one. You want to think and feel for yourself, yet you feel compelled in some ways by others who think and act differently from you. All the time that we're doing this, though, I believe that on some level, we're aware that we don't have time for that. Literally, we don't have time for that. Let go of that need for others' approval or for others to be congruent with what you're doing. Now, another way to say that is balance the time between what's important to you and what's important to other people. Sometimes when you come out with like, hey, don't care what people think, it's like I'm encouraging you to be an iconoclast or a hermit or a recluse. Like, no, it's just about balance. Within the realistic limits of your personal and professional circumstances, do this in a way that's right according to your own values and wishes. So values and wishes. Of course it's okay to do things for other people. What's best is if you do something for somebody else because it aligns with one of your own values. Sometimes you'll do something for somebody else just because you want to and because you enjoy doing it. And we'll say, well, that aligns with your own wishes. You get my drift? So be there for others. Help, support, be agreeable as much as you like. Just make sure that first you've thought about it. Make sure that these are your decisions and that you're the one that's in control. Until tomorrow.